So this is a defend mission that I got to work on in Call of Duty 2. These were really exciting for me because I would often get put into the scripted vehicle sequence levels, the tank drives and the car ride or the truck rides and all that stuff. And for me to get to do infantry combat was like a special treat, and I would try to go and do as much as I could while I was in there. And being the vehicle guy, naturally I would introduce lots of vehicle combats, and this is how I would come up with introducing AI to a scene that's kind of open. Like normally we'd have sort of hallways we could traverse, and it was easy to spawn a guy behind a wall and he could come in. But in this level, I really had to make use of APCs to bring in guys, and then we also had, let's see if I can get to a better view of it. We also had these drones, so like I would bring in like a lot more guys than we could ever handle with having AI in the level. We would have these, they were just models with guys running, and so they would come down the hill, and I did the geometry for this level, so I went and updated it so that there was a little thing they could hide behind, and then real AI would come out of spawners and come into the level. But in addition to that, we would have the APCs come in and do a path and then drive off. Now, with a normal level, those couldn't just come in and then drive off, because the player could then just chase them indefinitely until, like, like you'd have to have a road for them to come in, and we didn't just want to have a road where the player could just wander off and not be on the game. We would come up with creative ways to do that. Sometimes we'd have it come in, like block the path, and the guys would come out of the back of the truck or whatever, and it would just stay there forever, and it'd be like a piece of cover, and it would just be used once. But in this level, I would have the APC that would come down, drop off some guys, and then run off. And I think I had a couple paths just in case the player got on this and killed one, that we'd have the other path come by and drop off enemies. But yeah, it was really cool. What else to say about this? On the art side of this, we had to create this sort of desaturated look, and this was before we had post effects. So what we ended up doing on this to get this sort of nighttime look is we went through every texture and went to Photoshop and slid that saturation bar down and to get this effect. It's just crazy. You see in some of my Modern Warfare stuff, I actually work on the script, and probably some of that came out of this experience. Like, I was really excited to have that post effects where we could do these sort of like just desaturate everything with the night light. So interesting little bit. I liked having a lot of toys in this. You have this big gun, and then you have the machine guns in the trenches. It was really cool, and I thought having the spotlight would be for dramatic effect, and it was kind of a realistic thing. You would use you'd use the flashlight to sort of disrupt the vision of people. You see this all the time on weapons and stuff, like where they attach the flashlight in CQB. Like, you can't tell what's going on when you have this bright light in your eye. So, and it was also cool and dramatic to cast that shadow across the whole terrain. It's kind of a unique mission in that we typically did things in a linear fashion. You go down the hallway, you wouldn't reuse a space. And so I was getting to explore that here a bit. And if I get around to doing Tids and Bits on Modern Warfare 2, I did a really cool geometry section that is very open space. Another guy scripted it, and so it will fall in the sort of like let's wrap up other pieces of things that I did on that game video. Also on this level, if we get to the section where you're on the rooftop and probably some bits on the ground, I was getting to experience, we had afforded a dedicated environment artist on this game, and so he would come in and really help with the interior of the buildings. It wasn't my favorite thing to work on, so it was like a blessing to have that guy available to me. Like on the top of the building, you see all this. Let's see if I can get there. You have to go to the top of the building at some point. Here we go. So I did all the scripting for go down the binoculars, mark the tanks, lots of stuff with multiple objectives. You have different tanks and counting down the timers, but all these sandbags and things, like that was the environment artist coming in and helping out. So I don't know if that's a real World War II technology, but we needed a way to mark these tanks. So sometimes we would bend things a little bit to get gameplay to happen. But here you're just kind of guarding against tanks and marking them and blowing them up. So there you have it. This is called Hold the Line from Call of Duty 2, and thanks for watching.